Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Glady from Glady's Creations Part 2. And today we're doing our collaboration, the Crafting Our Way to Christmas series number 5. I'm so excited. We're going through these series really quick. And that kind of saddens me because soon it will end. And I don't want it to end. It's so much fun. Well, today's series is with Aurea from DIY with Aurea. Okay, and today her and I are collabing together to do anything that we want themed Christmas. Yep, that's what we're doing today. We're crafting our way to Christmas. So let's get on with my project. And today's project, we are making a like a snow globe snowman. Okay. And here I'm showing you that it is a snow globe, but we're not going to be using that inside part. Later on, you'll see me take it right out. That's for if you have water or any liquid in it, it'll keep it in and it won't come out. All right. And here I'm taking, now here I have some problems with the circle. Okay. Because, oh, and by the way, the material that I'm cutting here is, one of those, cloths that you can buy in the automotive department in Dollar Tree. Okay, it's kind of like furry, but really short fur. It's nice. I really like using that towel. Okay, so I have two circles here. I have one smaller one and one bigger one. So I start with the smaller one. This one was a 5-inch circle. Okay, and it's those sizers that balloon sizers that you could buy in the party section in Dollar Tree. Okay, they're a great tool to have if you like to craft and you have problems making circles. These are really good. um when I cut it and I tried to fit it on, it was too small, so I cut it another circle, and this one's 2 inches bigger. It's 7 inches. Okay. And what I did was, instead of cutting the full circle, I only rounded the top part, and then the rest of it, I left it like kind of squared off. So it's like kind of like a tomb, the shape of a tombstone, like that. Okay. I'm sorry to put it like that. See? And you'll see it here, what I'm doing. You see how I rounded off only the top, and then the rest of it I left it squared. All right, so I'm taking my tacky glue and my hot glue gun. What I'm going to do is, you see that line, the seam line? We're going to go about a finger over that line, okay? So there, I'm going to tack it with my glue gun. See, I did a little arch. Just so I could get an immediate hold. So while we're working with this project, it's a little easier. Then I'm taking tacky glue, putting my brush on it, my fan brush. Yeah, and by the way, that's a makeup brush from Dollar Tree. And I've been talking a lot about this brush. Amazing. Amazing brush to use for stuff like this when you want it to be nice and smooth and easy. Yep, perfect. And you see, you want to pull this down like I'm doing there, and stretching it from one side to the other side. And then when you get to the bottom, see how I'm pulling on it and holding it down, and then adding glue, and then I'm going to pull that section and tack it down, and then I'm going to pull the last section here and hold it. Having problems here. technical difficulties. I had a rough night. This was after work. I was putting this together. I'm surprised because I was very tired. I am very tired. I have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning and it's midnight. Yeah, so I'm really tired. But it's all worth it because I get to share these beautiful things with you and it's so much fun. So there I trim all the edges, okay, when I bring it to the edge, check to see if the lid fits. The lid fits okay. And I trim some more of that later on. So there's not an overhang like that. And don't worry about the edges there because we're gonna put something there to cover that. All right. Now this is the head. Okay, it's a 3-inch round circle, and I was showing you the package. I paid $6.99, but I think I got a 20% discount because I buy a lot. I buy a lot from them. Excuse me. I'm sorry for yawning. I am very tired. So now here we're gonna do the 7-inch circle, okay, but the outside part of the circle, okay, because we want it to be pretty big. And then so I trace that out and then I cut that to an exact, right in the inside line so we don't have that black on, that you can see the black. Okay, and there I cut that out. Now I'm going to put the styrofoam ball right in the middle, okay? And then we're going to pull it upwards like that, okay? But on the top there, I'm going to put a nice amount of that tacky glue all over the top of it. Okay, because really, in all actuality, that's what's going to give the permanent hold to this. Temporarily, because I know snap and dry rot and whatnot. So I tied a rubber band on it, but that's just temporary. Oh, if I don't stop yawning. Okay, now I'm gonna cut the edges off here. Yep, and bring it like that. Now that's gonna be the top of the head because we're gonna put the hat under it, and that'll help give a little bit leverage. Even though I stuffed the hat, but that'll give it a little bit more leverage to lift it and keep the hat on its head instead of sliding right off. Okay. So we're all done with that. We glued the head onto the body. All right, and now the next thing that we're gonna do is, and I just did this. I should know what I'm doing. Those are the feet that we're gonna connect. It's gonna be like little snow boots. Aren't they cute? And they're from Dollar Tree. Yeah, and you can get those. They're ornaments. You could get them out of the holiday section, the Christmas section. Now here I got these foam rollers, and we're gonna use 2 of those, and those are gonna be the arms, okay? And I'm here sitting here figuring this out, and that's let me get off the camera here. All right, so I cut these rectangle shapes, okay, and I left everything in. You're gonna see me burn myself really good. You're gonna see me struggling with the first one. Now I cut these 2 smaller squares, and that's where I first messed up. I didn't put the square on the top. That's gonna, because that little square piece is gonna be the hand, okay? And I'm gluing here and gluing my fingers on, burning my fingers. You'll see me jump, pull back, and that's when I burn my fingers. Boy, was I burning my fingers. So, and there I sealed it all the way to the top and forgot to put that little square that I wanted to put towards for the hand. So I go and I pulled it back and I put it in. There you go. And I decide, let me just show you this once I figure out what I'm going to do. So I take the small square, glue it to the rectangle, then start wrapping everything on. Okay, and I make sure that everything's tucked in nice and flush. And then and you're going to pull that nice and tight because you want it to be nice and tight so it doesn't slip off, okay? Because we're not gluing it to the styrofoam, because if we glue it to the styrofoam, forget it. The styrofoam's going to completely melt and it's not going to work. All right, there I trim off the edges, right? And there's a plastic tip on the roller, okay? That we're going to use that to do the base of holding this, okay? So we're going to glue it on, glue it on, and then come around the side and glue on the side, going towards the bottom. And then we're going to hold the arm down. Then we're going to do the other side, hold that, and then put hot glue underneath the arm so the arms come together to the front. And don't worry if it looks bulky and everything, believe me, the hat, the scarf, everything is going to be hiding all those imperfections. Okay, and then here I take some silver cording that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I do it twice around the edges. Excuse me, I'm sorry, around the edges of the belly. You could use yarn, you could use thread, you could use anything, ribbon, whatever you want to do your trimming. But just make sure that you do that so it covers the finished edge. And I messed up. I should have done this before I put the arms on. So if you guys recreate this, all you gotta do is before putting the arms on, put that cording on or whatever you're gonna use there. And this video is just to inspire you. You could do a teddy bear, you could do a doggy, a cat. Just let your imagination just roll with it, okay? I'm only here to inspire you, okay? So here, I move the arms open because I'm going to take my sparkle glitter. Once I find it, I was going through all my bottles and it was right in front of me. There you go. And it's called Sparkle, okay? It's March Pod with glitter inside of it. And it goes on white like this, but believe me, it disappears. You don't even see the white. All you're gonna see is just the glitter once it dries. All right, now we're gonna go to. I grab another ball because only for measurement purposes. That's all. I wrap my tape measure around it, and it came out to exactly 10 inches. Then I'm trying to figure out how big of a piece am I going to need. And I'm going to make it into a triangle, this one. So I make it 10.5 inches long. The halfway point is 5 1/4. So I line it up there, and then I find my center, and then I trace a triangle. Okay, and then I cut it out, and there it is. So now what we're gonna do is that one side we're gonna hot glue that together, and then we're gonna take a shish kebab stick and just push it until it gets to almost a point, and and that's where we're gonna put our next embellishment. Once I'm done here, it opened up again of me for me. I'm sorry. Uh, Towards the bottom. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is, I wanted to show you the glitter. I love that glitter. Now I'm gonna take this fur, and it already measures 11.5 inches. So from the corner to yeah, there we go. All right, I'm sorry about that. Here I'm cutting the fur part out. So I go up 2 inches and I part it, okay? And it makes it easier just to cut by doing that. So there I comb it out and I part it and then I cut it. And then you have less fur coming out. Look, you see I only pulled out a little pinch. Then you want to take that corner about a half inch away from the edge, okay? And you're gonna put your fur, there you go. And then you're gonna put the hat on top of the backing of the fur. And then you're gonna hot glue that down on the one side. Okay. Now you're gonna run a bead of glue over top of that material and bring the fur over. But make sure that it doesn't like curve up or curl up on you, okay? So it don't separate. Excuse me, sorry. And there I'm playing with the floppy part of the hat, but I love them for Christmas. I think they're so cute. Okay, so I put the hat on. We got our arms on. So now we're gonna do the feet. I think it is. We're gonna do. Oh no, we're gonna put the ball first. So I take that ornament, it's from Dollar Tree, and I take the string off, and there's like a little gap right there. So I'm gonna stick the pick part of the ornament right in the tip of that of the hat, and then I'm giving her a haircut because her hair is much too long, and if I would have left it that long, you wouldn't be able to see her face. So we're cleaning her all up. And there we go. And then I clean up all the hair. Then I cut a long piece of fabric of the same one that I used for the hat. And I just tie a knot right there and flip it over. And then I snip it to how long I want it. And then I'm going to shred the bottom. Okay, so it looks like a real scarf. Put the hat back on. Now I'm going to glue the legs or the feet. Okay, and I'm gluing it to the body. Now I end up ripping them off and moving them up a little bit higher later on because it sealed the lid part and I couldn't open it. So there I got some eyes and a carrot that I made out of my foam clay, and I take my Cricut tool and I put a hole in there, and it didn't want to work. I tried even this way with adding glue, hot glue, maybe the heat to open up the hole, but nope, that didn't work. So I take that skewer stick out and then put this pointy side on the outside, and that worked. I was able to push it in without squishing my carrot. Here I'm gonna get these eyes and I'm gonna place those eyes on there. I have all different size eyes because I crochet and I make a lot of stuffed animals, and I like using these eyes because they tend to be easier to make your eyes level. All right, and there you go. And then I was wondering, can I paint a mouth? So I take some black paint and I take a scrap piece and see if I can paint it. Yeah, I can paint it without having a bunch of white stuff spots. So I tilt him over so I can make his little happy place. I keep saying his. It should be a her, but it's a his. Okay, and I tied the scarf on, we put the legs on, painted the mouth, I put in the eyes, the carrots. Okay, and then after I finish the mouth, I take the blush and I put a little bit of blush for the cheeks because she's so sweet. She did. She came out so sweet, so adorable. Okay. And there I take blush. There you go. Make the cheeks nice and sweet. And I don't do it too dark. I do it very, very light because I don't want to take away from anybody or anything about how they, you know, how they, oh, I forgot here. We're gluing the hands together and I'm putting the candy canes in there. And I'm also showing you the lights that I bought from Amazon. Okay, and I'm going to take the little switch light out. And it didn't work. That one did not work. I'm gonna investigate tomorrow to see why it didn't want to work, if it was a dead battery or if it was messed up. But it's nice. These lights, you end up paying like under $1 for each one. You get 12 of them, so it's worth it. But we gotta make sure that when we plug them in that they work. Well, not plug them in, but turn them on. Okay, and you gotta, when you're done, like when you're gonna go to bed, if you don't want to leave that on, then you can just turn the switch off, you know. But I put everything, the whole lighting string, I put the whole thing right in the box, lid and all. Okay. And there I glue the two hands together. And the candy canes are going to be next. And those candy canes, I made them um, a couple videos back. I'll link it down in the description box below, just in case if you wanna make candy canes like that. There's a video I have, okay? And see, there's where I ripped the feet off, and then I glue them back on. I just lift them up a little bit higher, not too much higher, but that if any glue slips, you won't you won't see it. So there. I have to take it off like twice here. Oh. And then I glue the other side. Or am I still doing the same side? Yeah, I'm still doing the same side. I had ripped it out and then I'm going to put it back on. And here, I'm going to do the same thing. Go right underneath the arm, like the armpit, and then glue the foot there. And there you go. And I clean off everything. Yawn one more last time, I guess. I hope. And then I'm going to put the lights in there, and I had problems taking that out. Oh my goodness, that plastic piece. But I take it completely out and don't use it. That's for if you have liquids or something like that, so you could put it in there. All right, without it spilling. So there, I put the Christmas lights, as you see, and she. It's gonna be a girl. She's done. All done. Aw. That's my little Nori. I'm gonna call her little Nori. Nori's my granddaughter, by the way. All right, and here's the final review, and I want to say thank you so much for watching me today. I wouldn't have this channel if it wasn't for you guys. So I love you guys. You mean the world to me, for real, for real. The more of you and your family members watch, the more chances I have of having my channel grow, okay? So share it with everyone, anyone, okay? And don't forget to look down in the description box and get Aurea's link and click on it, and then you can go watch her after you watch us. Watch me here, okay? And down there you're also gonna see the links to my Instagram, Facebook, and all that. You can always write me. I enjoy mail. Okay, and then there's let me see, it's Instagram, Facebook, trying to think, TikTok. I think I put all the links exactly in there. All right, so don't forget to check out Aurea. She's such a talented creator. You're really gonna like her. She is amazing. She does some really beautiful, like glammy style home decor, beautiful stuff. And she does it with odd things from around, like that you have in your house already. She uses a lot of Dollar Tree products too. So check her out. She's an amazing crafter. She's such a sweetheart. And she has a lot for you to learn, that you can learn from her. Okay? So don't forget, check her out. And once again, I want to say thank you so much for coming on my channel and watching my videos today. You have a blessed day and a blessed evening, or if it's morning, it's morning. Okay, and I'll see you on Thursday with our series number 5. Okay, I mean number 6. This is 5. Number 6 is on Thursday. Okay, stay blessed, guys. I love you. Bye bye.